Let me tell you something I have learned in my life, something that is not taught in schools and something that is not written in books. When you are building your dream, when you are working on something big, something that could change your life, never tell everyone what you are doing. People think sharing their plans will make them look ambitious, smart, or confident. But what it really does is invite noise, doubt, and unnecessary opinions into your mind. The truth is, the moment you talk too much about your plans, you start to lose the energy to execute them. Because talking gives you a false feeling of accomplishment. You feel like you've already done something, but in reality, you have just given away your idea to the world without building it. When I started Alibaba, I didn't run around telling everyone, I am going to build the biggest e-commerce company in China. If I had done that, I'm sure 90% of people would have laughed at me. Some would say, Jack, you are crazy. Others would say, it's impossible. And a few would even try to do it themselves before I got the chance. That's the world we live in. People will either doubt you, discourage you, or try to compete with you before your idea even gets a chance to grow. So instead of speaking, I worked. I kept my vision in my heart, and I let my results do the talking. When you tell your plans to the wrong people, it's like planting a seed and letting strangers step on it before it grows. Not everyone wants you to succeed. Some people might not even do it intentionally. They might love you, but their words can still plant fear in your mind. They will say, be careful, or it's risky, and slowly you will start questioning yourself. Remember, dreams are fragile in the beginning. They need protection. They need your silence, your patience, and your hard work, not constant discussion. I know it's tempting to share because when you tell people about your dreams, you get a little spark of excitement. But that spark is dangerous if you rely on it too much. It will burn out before the real fire starts. Instead, use that energy to take action. Use that excitement to wake up early, to work harder, to stay focused. Let people see what you have done, not what you are planning to do. When you are successful, you don't need to explain yourself. The world will see it. The same people who doubted you will ask, how did you do it? And you will smile because you know that your silence built your success. Talk less, do more. Protect your dream like it's a treasure. Because in the end, it's not about impressing people with words. It's about inspiring them with results. So next time you have a plan, a vision, an idea that excites you, keep it in your heart. Work on it quietly and let the results make the noise. That's how you win. That's how you surprise the world. And that's how you prove to yourself that your dream was worth protecting. Let me tell you something very important. Your dream in the beginning is like a newborn baby. It's fragile, it's delicate, and it needs protection. This is why I say silence protects your dreams. When you first have an idea that excites you, when that spark lights up in your heart, you must guard it carefully. Because the world is full of winds. Winds of doubt, winds of criticism, winds of distraction. And if your dream is not strong enough yet, these winds can blow it away before it even takes root. Think about it. When you plant a seed, do you leave it on the surface for everyone to see? No. You bury it deep in the soil, where it is hidden, safe, and quietly growing. The roots develop in silence before the plant reaches for the sunlight. Your dream works the same way. In the early days, it doesn't need applause. It doesn't need recognition. It doesn't even need people's approval. What it needs is your commitment, your protection, and your hard work, away from the noise. The danger of telling everyone what you're doing too soon is that your dream gets exposed to opinions before it has the strength to stand on its own. And opinions are powerful, sometimes more powerful than facts. One negative comment from someone you respect can make you question your entire vision. One doubtful look can make you think, maybe they're right, maybe I can't do it. And just like that, you start doubting yourself, not because your idea was bad, but because you gave it away too early. You must understand, not everyone will see the world the way you do. Your vision was given to you, not to them. That's why you can see it so clearly in your mind, but they can't. If you try to make them understand before you've built something real, you'll only waste energy explaining instead of executing. And remember, energy is precious when you're building something from scratch. Every ounce of it should go into making your dream stronger, not defending it. I've seen so many people lose their dreams because they opened their mouths too soon. They told the wrong person at the wrong time. They heard, it's impossible, and they believed it. Or worse, someone they trusted quietly copied their idea and ran ahead of them. That's the reality of life. There will always be people who doubt you, and there will also be people who compete with you before you've even started. But if you stay silent, if you keep your dream inside and let it grow in the dark, you protect it from those dangers. You give it time to develop strength. You give yourself time to make progress before anyone can interfere. Silence is not weakness, it's strategy. And the most successful people in the world know this. They don't brag about their next move, they surprise the world with their next achievement. So I say to you, when you have a dream, guard it like a treasure. Hide it away from careless words and curious eyes. Work on it quietly, consistently, and relentlessly. Let it grow roots so deep that no storm can pull it out. And when it's ready, when your dream is strong enough to stand on its own, then and only then, let it out into the world. Because the day will come when you don't need to tell anyone what you are doing. They will see it, they will feel it, they will talk about it, and that will be the loudest, proudest moment of your life. Silence is your shield. Use it. One of the biggest traps that kills more dreams than failure ever could is talking too much about them. You see, the human brain is tricky. When you start telling people your big plans, your exciting ideas, your vision for the future, something strange happens. You feel good, you feel proud, you feel like you've already achieved something. But here's the truth, you haven't done anything yet. You've only talked, and that's the danger. Talking about your goals can trick your mind into thinking you've made progress, when in reality, nothing has moved forward. You've released all that excitement into the air instead of channeling it into action. It's like opening a bottle of soda. You shake it up with passion, with ideas, with energy. But instead of pouring it into the work, you open the cap and let it all spill out in words. And once it's gone, the fizz, the drive, the motivation, it's hard to get it back. I've seen this so many times. A young entrepreneur comes to me with fire in their eyes. They tell me, "Jack, I have this amazing idea that will change the world." They speak for hours, explaining every detail, every step, but months later, I see them again, and nothing has happened. The idea is still just an idea. Why? Because all their energy went into talking, not doing. They spent more time telling people about their dream than actually working on it. When I started Alibaba, I didn't go around broadcasting my plan to everyone I met. If I had, maybe people would have told me, "Jack, that's impossible. China doesn't even have the infrastructure for this." Or maybe someone would have tried to copy my idea before I could build it. But more importantly, I knew that the real satisfaction had to come from results, not from people clapping for an idea. You see, applause for a plan is dangerous. It feels good, but it's fake. It's like being congratulated for signing up to a gym membership without ever stepping on the treadmill. You think you're moving forward, but in reality, you're standing still. And standing still is the fastest way to let your dream die. Talking too much also invites another problem. You start believing you are further ahead than you actually are. You start relaxing, thinking, "Well, everyone knows I'm working on something big." But remember this, the world doesn't reward intentions, it rewards results. Nobody gets rich, famous, or successful just for planning to do something. So, what's the solution? Simple. Shut your mouth and move your hands. Let the excitement you feel when you think about your dream be the fuel that drives you to wake up earlier, to work harder, to push through challenges. Keep that energy bottled up until it explodes, not in conversation, but in action. When you finally reveal what you've been working on, it should shock people. They should look at you and say, "When did you do all this?" That's the power of discipline over talk. That's the magic of action over empty words. Remember this, a lion doesn't roar before it catches its prey. It stalks in silence, with focus, with precision. Only after the hunt is over does the roar come. Your dream deserves that kind of discipline. Don't give away your roar too early, because at the end of the day, you don't want people to remember you as someone who had a great idea once. You want them to remember you as the person who made it happen. Talking can make you feel like a hero in the moment, but only doing will make you a hero for a lifetime. So stop giving speeches about what you're going to do and start writing history with what you've done. Talk less, do more. Let me tell you a truth that will save you a lot of disappointment. The moment you decide to chase a big dream, people will doubt you. It's not a maybe, it's not a possibility, it's a guarantee. You see, when you tell people your vision, you expect them to be excited for you. You expect them to say, "Wow, that's amazing, go for it." But in reality, most of the time you'll hear, "Are you sure? That sounds risky. Maybe you should think twice." And the scary part is, this doubt can come from the people you love the most, not because they are bad people, but because they cannot see what you see. When I started Alibaba, even my closest friends looked at me like I was crazy. They said, "Jack, you're an English teacher, not a businessman. The internet in China, that's a joke." They thought they were helping me by telling me to be careful, to be realistic. But if I had listened to them, there would be no Alibaba today. I would still be in a classroom wondering what could have been. Here's what you have to understand. People doubt you because they judge your vision based on their own limits, not yours. If they have never done something big, they cannot imagine you doing it either. Their world is shaped by their experiences, their fears, their failures, and when they see you aiming higher than they ever have, it challenges their comfort zone. So instead of cheering you on, they will try to pull you back to where they feel safe. But my friend, if you want to achieve something extraordinary, you cannot let ordinary thinking control you. If you listen to every warning, every fear, every what if, you will end up doing nothing, because there will always be a reason to wait. There will always be a risk, and there will always be someone ready to tell you why it won't work. Sometimes the doubt will be disguised as care. Your family might say, "We just don't want to see you fail." Your friends might say, "We're looking out for you." And while their intentions may be good, their advice can still poison your belief. That's why, in the early stages, silence is your best friend. The fewer people you tell, the fewer doubts you'll have to fight. Understand this. Your belief in your dream is like a flame. When it's small, it's easy to blow out. All it takes is one strong breath of doubt. But if you protect it, feed it, and let it grow, it becomes a fire so strong that no amount of wind can put it out. That's when you can face the world's doubts without fear, because you know your dream has already taken root inside you. The most dangerous thing about doubt is that it can make you quit before you even start. You begin to think, maybe they're right, maybe I can't do it. And once you accept that thought, your dream is gone, not because it was impossible, but because you believed it was. So, don't waste your time trying to convince people to believe in you. It's not their job to believe, it's yours. Let your results convince them. Let your success be the answer to every "you can't" they ever told you. Remember, great things are always doubted at first. The airplane was doubted, the internet was doubted. Every breakthrough in history was once called impossible until someone proved it possible. So when people doubt you, smile, because it means you're doing something worth noticing. It means you're stepping into a space where average people don't dare to go. And that's exactly where greatness is born. Let me tell you something that will make the difference between being remembered and being forgotten. The world doesn't listen to what you say, it watches what you do. You can tell everyone about your dreams. You can explain your plans in the most beautiful, inspiring words. You can make speeches, post on social media, write long messages about what you're going to achieve, but none of that will matter if there is no action behind it. Words are just air. Action is reality. When I was building Alibaba, I didn't waste my time telling the world what I was planning. I didn't stand on a stage saying, "One day I will make the biggest e-commerce company in China." No, I spent that time working on it, day and night, facing failures, solving problems, finding the right people, and improving step by step. And then, years later, the world could see what I was building. That's when they believed. People don't trust promises, they trust proof. You can promise someone you'll climb a mountain, but until you're standing at the top, it's just talk. You can tell your family you're starting a business, but until you show them results, it's just a dream in your head. Here's the truth. Action doesn't just speak louder than words, it silences words. When you show results, you don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to convince anyone. The proof is in front of them, and they can't argue with it. Too many people waste precious time trying to explain their ideas to people who will never understand. They get caught in endless conversations, defending their plans, trying to win approval. But every hour you spend explaining is an hour you could have spent executing. And execution is the only thing that turns dreams into reality. Action also has another superpower. It earns respect. You see, people respect results, not talk. Even your critics will respect you if you achieve something they thought was impossible. They might not like you, they might not agree with you, but they will respect the fact that you did what you said you would. And here's the best part, action inspires. When you achieve something through consistent work, without shouting about it in advance, people start to wonder, if they can do it, maybe I can too. That's how leaders are made, not by words, but by example. But let me warn you, action is harder than talking. Talking is easy, comfortable, and feels good. Action is uncomfortable, tiring, and full of challenges. Talking gives you applause now. Action gives you success later. You have to choose which one you want more. When you commit to action over words, you stop caring about whether people get your vision right now. You stop seeking validation. You stop chasing approval. Instead, you chase progress. You chase results. And one day, without warning, you'll show the world something so undeniable that even your loudest critics will go silent. So the next time you feel the urge to tell the world what you're working on, ask yourself, would I rather tell them or show them? Because showing them is powerful. Showing them is unforgettable. Showing them is how you write your name in history. Remember, a tree doesn't make a sound when it's growing. It only makes noise when it falls. So grow quietly, work relentlessly, and let your success make all the noise for you. One of the most common mistakes people make when chasing a dream is wasting their energy on explaining instead of executing. They spend hours, days, even months telling people why their idea will work, why they're different, why they deserve a chance. But every minute spent explaining is a minute stolen from building. Let me tell you something. Explanations don't create success. Work does. Every time you defend your vision to someone who doesn't believe in it, you're giving away precious mental energy. And trust me, when you're building something from scratch, your energy is your most valuable resource. When I started Alibaba, I didn't go door to door trying to convince people my idea would succeed. If I had, I would have wasted years arguing with people who had no interest in understanding me. Instead, I put all my energy into action, finding solutions, building the team, improving the platform. I knew that once the results came, they would explain everything for me. Here's the problem with over-explaining. It traps you in other people's opinions. The more you talk, the more advice you get, the more doubts you hear, and the more you start questioning yourself. But when you stay focused on execution, your only measure of progress is the work you've done and the results you've achieved. That's a much better scoreboard than someone else's approval. Execution is where dreams live or die. You can have the best idea in the world, but if you don't act on it with relentless focus, it stays in your head forever. And focus means protecting your time, protecting your energy, and refusing to get distracted by the need to prove yourself to people who aren't even part of your journey. Let your results be your explanation. Let your success be your argument. Because once you have built something real, the same people who doubted you will come to you and ask, "How did you do it?" That's when you can tell your story, after you've written it with action. So stop talking so much about what you're going to do. Stop wasting energy convincing people. Put every ounce of your focus into building, into improving, into moving forward. Remember, energy spent on action creates results. Energy spent on explanation creates nothing. The beautiful thing about success is this: you don't have to explain it. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't have to defend your decisions, because success speaks for itself. When you achieve something real, it becomes undeniable. Even the people who doubted you, criticized you, or laughed at you will have no choice but to see it. They might not apologize. They might never admit they were wrong, but deep inside, they will know, and that's enough. When I was building Alibaba, in the early days, nobody believed in us. They thought we were chasing an impossible dream. I could have spent years trying to convince them, showing them presentations, arguing with their doubts, but instead, I stayed focused. I knew that one day, when the results came, I wouldn't have to say a word. The numbers, the growth, the impact would say everything for me. And that's exactly what happened. Success is the ultimate argument. It ends debates instantly. You don't have to prove your worth with promises, with explanations, or with speeches. You prove it by winning. You prove it by doing what others thought you couldn't. And here's the best part. Success has a ripple effect. The moment you achieve something, people see it, and it changes the way they treat you. The same people who ignored you start calling you. The same people who told you it's impossible start asking for your advice. That's the power of proof. But you only get to that point if you can survive the silence, the doubt, and the loneliness before success comes. You have to keep going when no one is clapping, when no one believes, when no one understands. Because in that quiet, you are building the foundation that will one day make the world notice you. So don't waste your time trying to explain your journey to people who haven't walked it. Don't seek applause before you've earned it. Work in silence, protect your vision, build with everything you've got. And when success finally arrives, it will be the loudest voice in the room. You won't need to say, "I told you so." The results will say it for you. If you want, I can now combine all 6 expanded key points plus the main speech into one powerful continuous Jack Ma style speech so it feels like a complete masterpiece. So my friends, remember this: dreams are not built in the noise of the crowd, they are built in the quiet of your work. You don't owe the world your plans, you owe yourself your commitment. Talk less, do more. Protect your vision like it's gold, because in the beginning, it's fragile. People will doubt you, they will try to discourage you, and they will not understand what you see. That's okay. You're not here to make them understand. You're here to make them see it with their own eyes when it's done. Every great success story begins in silence, grows with action, and ends with results so undeniable that the whole world has to pay attention. That can be your story too, if you have the courage to work without applause and the discipline to let your success do the talking. So go out there and build. Let your actions be your voice, and one day you'll look back and smile, knowing that while others were busy talking, you were busy winning.